Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Cilinix Crypto. I hope you're all doing great. And welcome to this new video here on the markets. And there is a lot to talk about, so let's get right into it. First of all, there's not really any news regarding the Fomc meeting of Wednesday. We might still see some de-risking, and I think in general the volume and just in general the momentum will be slightly lower ahead of Wednesday. But ultimately, I mean, right now the highest probability, and it's by far the most likely decision, that they're going to not change the interest rate at all. So what then matters the most is what they will say at the press conference about the further monetary policy of the US in 2025, and that is something that I cannot predict. All right, so we'll talk about that again after Wednesday or Wednesday evening. And in general, look, I'll keep you updated on it as well. But for now, the most important thing we need to talk about is the stock markets and what's going on there, and basically what we expect from crypto. Because what we have done so far, looking at Bitcoin, what I said earlier this morning is that the priority or the most important level would be this level right here at 100,600. All right, if we were to be able to reclaim that, break back above that level, that would be insanely bullish, and then all of a sudden I think we're back in this range right here, and then we can get back into 105,000. So that's by far the most bullish scenario, but whether that's going to happen or not depends a lot on how the stock markets open. The US market is opening in 10 minutes, so probably when I'm uploading this video is when it will happen. But what we have seen so far, and one of the main reasons why the markets have dropped is this. All right, and that is that the S&P 500 has fallen down quite a bit, and that is because of fears of DeepSeek, the Chinese AI company, which basically created a large language model for a much lower cost than the American companies, which leads to fears that the American companies are much too overvalued. So that's why we see a drop. Because investors are getting out of there. So what you expect from Bitcoin, excuse me, basically depends on if you think that those sells and those expectations are justified or not. And in my opinion, look, it's definitely bearish to a certain extent, and it's a wake-up call for these American AI companies. But in the end, I still think that compute, which these American AI companies excel in, still will matter. So I think this is a bit of an overreaction. And then if we take a look at some other statistics and some other data, the dollar strength index has been incredibly bearish, which is good for crypto and good for stocks. And then outside of that, the USDT dominance has found resistance as well. And the total altcoins are a little bit more difficult, so be careful with those. But in general, those altcoins, I don't want to spend too much time talking about that. But for those reasons, especially the dollar strength index, I think this is a bit of an overreaction. Now, in the end, and we actually have a Coinbase Bitcoin premium as well, which is amazing. But in the end, it all depends on the price. All right, so the US market is opening in 8 minutes now. The next 4-hour time frame candle, I think, will matter a lot. If that 4-hour time frame candle is able, with volume, to break back above 101,000 and 101,500, 100,600, that area, if we're able to break back above that, then I think this was a fake out, this was an imbalance, and that we're going back into this range, and that we can stay in this range until we actually get some new news and an actual breakout or a breakdown. And I am slightly leaning towards that this is most likely. I think it's a bit of an overreaction by the markets, and therefore I think this imbalance will be restored. But I'm open for both directions, right? I'll just let it depend on how this 4-hour time frame candle is going to close, and what I see during the US opening. If during the US opening stock markets continue to dump down, then that's a sign that I was wrong, right? And then we're going to drop down lower, and then Bitcoin is not going to do this reclaim, and we'll drop down into the next support level, which will most likely be around 97,000. And then 95,000. So be aware of those two scenarios, and make your own opinion. All right, what do you think? All right, we got this news. Do you think that this drop in stocks was actually justified, and do we have to drop down lower, or was it an overreaction, and can we actually recover? Talking about altcoins, there's a couple of altcoins that I think are interesting. BitTensor, very strong. I am fortunate to tell you that we actually bought this in the Signal group. I actually bought some coins because, like I said, I thought it was most likely, or I think it's most likely, we're going to get that reclaim. So BitTensor looks very bullish. If the markets are going to be strong, this is definitely going to be a coin that's going to perform. So keep your eyes on that. And if you're interested in calls like that, consider joining our Signal group. Links will be down in the description. Definitely worth it, but that's up to you. And then outside of that, I mean, layer 0 is a bit strong, but outside of that, there's not much to be very excited about in terms of altcoins. Alchemy Pay is very bullish, but who knows how long that will take. And I think XRP and Solana technically are actually still quite strong. Jupiter, which is a Solana coin, still very strong. Outside of that, that's it. There's not many more outliers, I would say. A lot of the altcoins are just following Bitcoin. So that's why keeping an eye on Bitcoin should be your priority as well going into this US session, which is now opening in 4 minutes. So hopefully I'll be on time with uploading this. Take care. I'll see you on my next videos, and bye.